Hey everybody, welcome to Buddy Spirits and Cigars. Today we are going to do some new riff. Now we've done this in the past as far as new riff is concerned. However, this particular one is the new Riff Rye, and it's 100% rye. So that's pretty cool. So
yes.
Dawson's going to love this one.
Yes.
And it's, I think it's hilarious. I know you don't, but
I'm excited. I can't wait.
I think it's hilarious. So it's 95% rye, 5% malted rye. This is from the spring 2017, and it's 100 proof. So
It's 4 years old, right? I think.
well, all of their stuff is at least 4 years old. So at least, not exact, but at least 4 years old. So
Oh yeah, because there's all bottled and bond in it.
bottled and bond. So that's one of the requirements. So anyway, I'm pretty excited to try it. Haven't had it yet. I've seen some of the new Riff store picks and everything. People just seem to love them. Of course, we've done the new Riff bourbon on here.
Yeah,
that was bottled and bond. Really good stuff. So why not do the rye since that's your favorite?
I love it.
That's our favorite.
All right, bottle pop.
Ooh,
Not bad.
Pretty
That's
strong.
a nice
Not
one.
bad.
It's pretty strong.
We'll be sure and pour Dawson's extra heavy.
Yes. So obviously you guys could probably see, but this is a fresh crack.
Oh, I like the effects you added there. So anyway, I've been wanting to try this.
Dude,
We just haven't cracked it yet. So
dude, that nose, man.
what say ye?
I haven't
end.
I haven't nosed it yet.
He's like, I'm dreading this so much. I can't do it. Decent legs on it.
Spicy.
Heaven in a bottle.
Have you tasted it?
No,
Or
the
you're just
nose.
going off
The nose was a little spicy.
Oh,
Not like a bad spice, but I don't know. I mean, there's some sweetness in there too, but there's spicy.
That's pretty tasty.
We're drinking it
I
right now. Is we starting?
go ahead.
already did.
Go ahead. Let's see the look on your face.
Well, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
He's down there dreading it. He goes into it like, you know how like a little kid goes in there and they just work themselves up like crazy because they're gonna have to get a shot.
Yep.
They work themselves up like crazy and they get the shot and they're like, oh, well, that wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, it's not horrible. It's not. This is going to sound idiotic. It's obviously a rye, right? But I think this is like the most rye I've ever had, like 100%.
Well, considering it is in fact 100%,
Right.
that makes sense.
And it does say that on the label.
But I don't get near as much like back of the palate, super spicy on it. I mean, it's there, don't get me wrong, but it's not near as much as what I was expecting. Does that make sense?
It's also 100 proof.
Yeah.
So it's not.
True.
I mean, if you're trying to compare this to some of the ryes we've done in the past, especially when you go into the Willet 4-year, that's on up there in the proof points. Well, even the Broken Barrel that we done, it was what, 105?
Yeah.
So
Which we all really liked.
this is pretty smooth. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
No, it's a lot smoother than I thought it
I
would
like
be.
it.
I thought I was going to be over here like when I first got into bourbon, doing the whole coughing thing and the breathing heavy out, you know.
like you inhaled a cigar,
Yeah.
but it was because you tasted the bourbon.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. And the problem with New Riff is they're not in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's
Or
a huge problem.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, or Oklahoma. And I hate that because their stuff is really good. And I mean, I could daily drink this stuff if it was just available to me. Prices aren't bad at all.
When I went up to Missouri to stay with Mackenzie, and I brought eight.
Slow down a little bit.
I brought like 8 bottles back. I mean, I think I brought you a couple. I got a couple.
Yeah.
My brother got a couple, and then a couple other of my buddies. And it was like, even the bottle or the single barrel was like $55.
Yeah.
Their normal is bottled in bond batched product was like 45, and I was like, man, you can't beat that.
Yeah, I mean, and I would love to have a store pick of New Riff. That would be awesome to be able to do that and have that experience. But they're not in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and I wish that would change.
New Riff, get your business in gear and get down here to the south, please.
Well, and they're a new distillery, so maybe once they start growing and they're batching more and more of their product now that they're kicking off, hopefully they will start to spread more. But I'm pretty sure they're like a new distillery, aren't they?
They're newer, yes, and they may not. I don't know how big their production is as far as like what their coverage is on how many states they cover. But I want Arkansas and Oklahoma to be a couple of the states that they cover. Yeah. But we can do a short trip to Missouri. We're not terribly far from there, a couple hours, and we can get some New Riff. So that's not terrible, but it would be more convenient if it was sitting on the shelf here. But anyway, you want to start us off, right, guy?
Yeah. So everybody's always heard my spiel. I'm not a big, huge rye guy, so it's not going to like blow my score out of the water. But I'm going to try to be fair and unbiased to where, like, even though I don't necessarily love ryes, like, I want to give a good review. So if somebody does, they're going to like, oh, maybe that's, a good one. I don't want to shit on it because it's still a good product, just not my product. Does that make sense? So I'm going to give it 2.5 because I'd probably drink it. And at the price point, that's not bad at all. So I'm going to go 2.5.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have to go a little higher than that because the price point's great and it's a rye. I like it. Now, I would be probably a lot more interested if it was higher than 100 proof. Kick it on up to 110, somewhere in that area. I'd like to see how it is. However, it's bottled in bond, so I understand the stipulations that go with that. So that's how it is. So that being said, I'm going to give this a good 3.25. I think it's a very good, solid rye. I think that the price point is definitely on point for their stuff. And out of the stuff I've had from them, I've had maybe 3 different bottles now or so, and none of them have disappointed at all. Not a single one. So hats off to you.
I'm going to go with 3.25 as well. And for many of the same reasons. I really like the spice. And as I was sitting here, I'd taken a sip, and about a minute later, I could feel it running down my chest.
Kentucky hug.
I really love that.
Yeah.
That good Kentucky hug. The flavor is really, really good. And I'm not opposed to 100 proof. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
No.
I agree too, though, with a higher proof, it would probably have a little more bolder flavor, but
we'll have a little more skirt flingage.
Right. This one kind of just fluttered the hem a little bit, but it's a solid pour, and especially for the price. The only downside to me, I'd probably do a 3.5 if it was available locally.
Yeah, I hate that it's not.
And frickin' Missouri, come on, really? You can't just come down a couple of more minutes and hit Arkansas? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Get your stuff together.
I mean, literally, you can buy it right there at the line.
Right.
Right. Jane, Missouri, right there at the Arkansas-Missouri line. So, anyways, great product. I'm not disappointed at all. I think that's a great rye. And makes me want to venture off into their store picks, too. And, I've seen some single barrels and some of their store picks that are sitting around. So, I'll definitely pick some up. It's great products. Every one of them I've tried from New Riff has been very good, very solid. So, what are we smoking?
This is the Davidoff Escurio Petit Robusto. So the Escurio is kind of it was one of their homage to Carnival in Rio. So it's got some good spicy tobacco. It's a Habano wrapper from Ecuador. It's got some Brazilian and Nicaraguan filler, Brazilian binder. This is a Petit Robusto, so this is like a 20, 25 minute smoke. And for our purposes on the show, it's pretty optional. They do make bigger ones. Talking to the rep, Garrett Calhoun, shout out to Garrett.
Hey, Garrett.
Davidoff.
What's up?
Garrett, his assertion is that the Corona Gorda is like the primo, kind of like for us with the Rocky Disciple, the 60 is the Vitola.
Yep.
The Corona Gorda in this cigar is the Vitola, according to Garrett, and I don't disagree. I've smoked it. It really does a lot better, but this is a pretty good little spicy cigar, and I think it's for this 100 proof and pour and the little bit of the hug that it gives. I think it's pairing pretty well, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And not having that fight just really adds to the experience. And there's not any disappointment in this new riff
No, not at all.
for me at all.
Other than inability to locate locally.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that,
And that's a minor. In the grand scheme of things, that's kind of a minor thing because we all have the ability to drive every now and again to go pick it up.
I was about to say between me and Terp, I mean, one of us is in Missouri. I mean, once every couple months, probably. Terp, 3 months. I mean, we're up there between me and you. We're up there pretty, not frequently, but enough to bring a few bottles back.
at some
and have
point
it.
in the year,
Yeah,
we're usually,
I used to be up there a lot more frequently, but now it's not that.
now that
Frequent.
the missus has moved down.
Yeah,
So, I think it's worth the drive. Jane, Missouri's got some good stuff. It's a pretty good little hot spot. Macadoodles is there. And then
There's
also
three
the
stores.
Walmart.
There's three stores you could stand in the middle of the highway and hit with a rock.
Right. And so, it's a pretty good little honey hole to get some of these things that if you're in our area that you just can't find on the shelf, which sucks, but it is what it is. Be sure you like our content. Smash that like button. We need likes big time.
smash.
And be sure if you're not subscribed, you subscribe, and we'd appreciate if you'd share it. Find us on TikTok. We need some subscribers on there. Go live and do some interaction. If you're not in our BSC community group, we do giveaways. It's a lot more personal. We have a lot of interaction with fans that's in there, and we have a pretty good time. So
Get in there.
yeah,
Just get in. Just
it's on
get
Facebook.
get right in.
Do
Search
it.
BSC community.
Get to
and,
the chopper.
That's where we are. So
And we're usually pretty good about accepting the request pretty quickly too. So
yeah, there's been a few that we have weeded out of there because we don't allow anybody that's gonna scam you guys. So we try to keep you guys as safe as possible. We don't want scammers in there.
no
So,
scamming, no selling. Just
Yeah.
talking about good old bourbon and cigars.
yeah, if y'all want to trade and y'all want to do that stuff to PMs or whatever, I mean that's your business. But we just try to keep it where everybody, from beginners all the way up to people that do this all the time, we're there to answer questions and help and try to point you in the right direction. And if there's awesome sales or awesome, we post our events in there as well. So that's a good way to get first dibs on tickets to events. We got some awesome things coming. We're extremely excited about some things, and we hope you guys can join us and all that stuff. So that's all have time for on this episode. We'll catch you on the next one.